Hello friends, today we are going to see some more arrangement sets from the exam RBI Grade B. So let's start upfront with some interesting sets here. So let us read the information first. Rinku goes to Delhi food fair held at Pitampura last Sunday. He takes an entry ticket for the sweets and namkeens section of the fair. This section of the fair had 4 stalls, namely Hai Mirchi, Mirchis, Mirch Masala and Mirch Rasoi. These 4 stalls had 16 sweets and namkeens items among them to sell. And these shops sell different number of sweets and namkeens. There were total 9 sweets and 7 namkeens in the offering. Namkeen items available at the fair were K, L, M, N, O, P, and Q. And the sweet items were R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. The following information is also available. So first of all, what says is there are 4 different shops from which he is going to buy. The shops names are Hai Mirchi, Mirchis, Mirch Masala, and Mirch Rasoi. There are 4 different shops from which he is buying. Also, we know one information, that is there are 9 sweet items and 7 namkeen items. So namkeen items are K, L, M, N, O, P, and Q. There are these namkeen items which are 7 in numbers, and the sweet items are R, S, T, U, V, W, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. So these 9 sweet items are. Now let us go information by information. From each stall, Rinku purchased different number of sweets and namkeens combined. P is the only namkeen items available at the particular shop. The same is true for Q. That means wherever P namkeen appears, only single namkeen P will be there, and same for Q. Mirch Rasoi had more namkeens to offer than Hai Mirchi. Mirch Rasoi. So this will have more namkeen items as compared to Hai Mirchi, which did not have any sweet to offer. That means it has no sweet, so only namkeen. Hai Mirchi will have only namkeen. Mirch Masala had only V, Y, Z to sell. So Mirch Masala, you know already that it has only V, Y, and Z. All 3 are namkeens. And this is the only item that they sell. That means they don't sell any kind of, sorry, these are the sweets. So that means they don't sell any kind of namkeen. They sell only sweets. Number of stalls selling sweets were less than the number of stalls selling namkeen. So now this information is very, very critical here, because you know that this stall does not sell any namkeen, and this stall does not sell any sweets. So if the stalls selling namkeen are more than the stalls selling sweets, according to this statement. So now out of 4 stalls, 1 stall does not sell any namkeen. That means the possible number for namkeen has to be 3. It cannot be even 2, because you know one of the stall only sells P and one of the stall only sells Q. That means there has to be at least 3 stalls, and there has to be exactly 3 stalls now, because one stall does not sell any namkeen. So that means the stall selling namkeen has to be 3. And that makes the stall selling sweets either 2 or 1. But again, we know that this stall does not sell all the sweets. That means there has to be one more stall which sells sweet. That means the stall selling sweet has to be 2. This is for sure. Now let's go further. P is not sold at the stall which had maximum items to offer. Rinku purchased all system item by the end of the day. Okay, so this much information we are having. Further, there are prices and all as well. So if any question requires prices, we'll go for that as well. Now first, let's see where we have to put P and where we have to put Q. Now you know that Mirch Rasoi sells more namkeen as compared to Hai Mirch. Now there are 2 stalls which sell only P and only Q. That means 1 namkeen, 1 namkeen. So remaining namkeen has to be sold at one particular shop, and that has to be Mirch Rasoi. So that means K, L, M, and O, everything is sold at Mirch Rasoi. So now High Mirch and Mirchis, they are selling one of the P and one of the Q. Also, we know that out of these two shops, out of these three shops, one of the shop is going to sell all the remaining sweets because sweet is sold only at two shops. But now what happens is there are only three sweets here. That means six sweets remain. So if you add all six sweets here, so remaining two shops, they have to have only one item to sell. But you know that he purchased different number of sweets and namkeen combined. So these two shops cannot have exactly one item to sell. That means out of these two shops, one of the shop has to be the one which sell all the remaining sweets apart from V, Y, and Z. All the remaining sweets that stall should sell along with either of P and Q. But also one more information, you know that the shop which sells P does not sell the maximum number of items. That means P is the single one and Q along with the remaining sweets is sold by another shop. But you know that High Mirch does not sell any sweet. That means Mirchis has to be the one which sell Q along with all the rest of the sweets. So Q is the namkeen that it sells and remaining sweets, it is R, S, T, U, W, and X. So total 7 items are sold at Mirchis. One item only, which is P, is sold at High Mirch, and 5 items are sold at Mirch. So this is what the different items sold at different shops are going to be. Let us write the price as well. KLMNOPQ RSTUVWXYZ. So in alphabetical order, they have prices 1, 2, 3. So you can just write the prices as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z. I think I missed something. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Sorry. 14. It is going to be U, V, W, X. This is going to be 12. This is going to be 13. V, W, X, Y, and Z. So these are going to be the prices as well. Let's go to the question directly. First question is, at a certain instant, Rinku had purchased 4 items at random collectively from Mirchis and Mirch Rasoi. Then which of the following cannot be the amount he has to pay at those 4 shops? So 4 items he has purchased collectively from Mirchis and Mirch Rasoi. What all are the cost he cannot pay? 24, 33, 38. Mirchis and Mirch Rasoi. So can you create 28? Yes, you can. The options here are 24, 33, and 38. So can you create 24, 33, and 38 out of the shop's name, Mirchis and Mirch Rasoi? Together 4 items. So Mirchis and Mirch Rasoi. Can you create 24 for 4 items? Yes, you can easily. If you say 8 from here or 14 from here and 13 from here, 14 and 13, 27. We want to create first 24. So let's say 10 and 11, 21. And 2 plus 3, 24. So 24 can be created. 13 and 14, 27. 27 plus 6 you want. So 4 and 2, 6. and 38, 27 plus 11 you want. So 10 you can take from here and 1 you can. So all three can be created. So answer will be none of this. You can create all these three numbers. So option should be none of this. Everything can be created out of these two shops with 4 items. The payment made at Mirch Rasoi and High Mirchi as a percent of payment made at Mirchis is how much percent more than the payment made at Mirch Rasoi as a percent of payment made at Mirchis and Mirch Masala. So first we can just calculate the payment made at each shop and then we'll see this question. So total payment made here is 6 rupees. Total payment made here is 17. $72. Total payment made here is 43 and total payment made here is 15. Okay, let's see the question now. Question says the payment made at Mirchi Rasoi, which is 15, and High Mirchi, which is 6. So total payment made is 21. As a percent of payment made at Mirchis is how much more than, so 21 as a percent of 77 is how much more than payment made at Mirch Rasoi. Mirch Rasoi is 15 as a percent of payment made at Mirchis and Mirch Masala. Mirchis and Mirch Masala, 43 and 72. That is so this as a percent of this is how much percent, how much more than this as a percent of this. It's a little calculation based question, but you can calculate. So if you calculate this is what percent of this, just use A is what percent of B formula, it will come out to be 27.27%. And if you calculate this is what percent of this, again it is going to be 13.04%. You just have to calculate difference between these two. So it is going to be approximately 14.23. So answer is going to be 14.23. The difference between these two is 14. Last question. Rinku had already purchased all the items from Mirch Rasoi, High Mirchi and Mirch Masala and two cheapest item at Mirchis. So Mirch Rasoi, the total cost is 15. High Mirchi, the total cost is 6. And Mirch Masala, the total cost is 43. And cheapest item, two cheapest item from Mirchis. So Mirchis has the cheapest item worth 7 and 8 rupees. That means 15 rupees. So this much amount he already spent. He rushes, he runs out of the money, rushes to friends and get balance amount required to purchase the remaining items. So out of 72, he had already purchased the items for 15. That means he needs more 57 rupees. The amount that his friend lends him as a percent of amount Rinku had already spent. So Rinku had already spent this much. $79. So they're asking the amount that the friend lends him as a percent of he already had purchased. So 57 is what percent of 79 you have to get. So if you calculate this is what percent of this, it is going to be 72.15%. So yes, calculation wise, it is little too much, but otherwise arrangement wise, it's not a difficult question. Let's see one more set that they asked in RBI Grade B last year. Now, this is the information. You can just pause it here and solve on your own, and then we'll see the solution. Now, we can make a table like this because the statement says 8%. They have different designations in the company: CGM, general manager, deputy general manager, assistant general manager, manager, assistant manager, probationary officer, and clerk. All the designation given are in considering given order. So the order is already there. So we can just write first the order. We'll first write the names, or we can go with designation as well, no issue. We can go first with the designation, then with the names, and then as you can see, the number of countries visited. So designation, because already provided to us in the order, so we'll go with that part first. There are total 8 people. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The higher most designation is CGM. Then it comes the GM. Then comes the DGM. Then comes the AGM. Then comes the manager. Then comes the assistant manager. Then is the probationary officer, and then is the clerk. This order is already given to us. Now, the names and the number of countries are different. They visited different number of countries, 2, 3, 5, 6, up to 15, but not in the same order. There are 3 persons in between the person who is AM and the person who visited 8 countries. So if AM is already there, so the person who visited 8 countries cannot be below it, because there are 3 persons in between the AM and the one who visited 8 countries. So that means the person has to be above it. So 1, 2, 3, the gap of 3% between, that means this is the person who visited 8 countries. Clerk has not visited the least number of countries. So least number of countries visited by anyone is 2. So clerk is the one who is not visiting 2 countries. So we cannot write 2 here. T is GM. That information is already given to us. T is GM. So GM's name is T. And R visited 2 countries. We don't know who R is. So we can just write it here. R, wherever we are going to write, is going to visit 2 countries. So one of the information is this. Then it says there are 2 persons between O and the person who visited 5 countries. So O, wherever we are going to write, and the person who visited 5 countries, they should have 2 people between them. As designated one place above R. So as should be just above R, and he is not the manager. So as is not going to be manager. CGM is not the person who visited highest number of countries. So you know CGM is not visiting 15 countries. Person Q is AGM. AGM's name is Q. Person who visited 15 countries is higher in designation than the one who visited 9 countries. So 15 should come above 9. M and P have lower than AGM. AGM is here. So M and P both should be below it. P visited 3 countries and his post is lower than M. So lower than this should be M, and lower than M should be P. And P has visited, person who is 15 countries is higher than designation who is 10 countries. M and P have lost. P visited 3 countries. So P is the one who has visited 3 countries. O visited highest number of countries. So O is the one with the 15 countries. And visited 11 countries. So N will be the one with 11 countries. AGM visited less number of countries than manager, but more than clerk. So you know now, above clerk, that means number of countries visited by clerk are lesser than the number of countries visited by AGM. And AGM in all will be lesser than manager. So clerk is not 2 countries, we know that part. And also because there are 2 people more than clerk, that means clerk cannot be the one with 15 countries either, and it cannot be the one with 11 countries either, because 15 and 11 are the top 2, and there are already 2 people more than clerk. Similarly, AGM is not the one with 15 countries because there is somebody more than AGM. So AGM is not more 15 countries. So this much information we can gather from the given data. Now it is time to analyze. S and R should appear one below another. Now these cannot be SNR, this cannot be SNR, this cannot be SNR, this cannot be SNR. So these two could be SNR or these two could be SNR. Or these two could be SNR. One more information, we know that R is visiting two countries. That means this is not the R. That much also we can get from this. So these two now can't be SNR. These two also can't be SNR because S is not the manager. So that means now we can be assured that this has to be the S and this has to be the R. R visited two countries. Now this information you can use here. O and the person who visited 5 has gap of 2 between them. O already visited 15 countries, so this cannot be O either. This can be O. O, 1, 2. This person is not 5 countries, so no. So that means if this is O, 1, 2, 5 countries, possible. If this is O, 1, 2, not possible because there is a gap of 2 between O and 5. If this is O, 1, 2, the countries with person with 5 countries, possible. So both the positions are okay for O, 1, 2, 5 countries. So we have lots of choices for here. So we can keep that on hold. We can use this information. M and P, they are below AGM. There are only two places for M and P. This should be M. This should be P. And P has visited 3 countries. So now that we know P and M are also done, and we can now use the data with O. O and the person with 5 countries have gap of 2 between. So if this is O, 1, 2, the person with 5 countries possible. If this is O, 1, 2, the countries with 5, the person with 5 countries again possible. But O has visited 15 countries. This cannot be O because this person is not visiting 15 countries. So that means this is the O who has visited 15 countries. There is gap of 2 between O and the one who visited 5 countries. Now only one person is left, that is N. So this has to be N who visited 11 countries. Also we know that between AGM and manager visiting more countries than AGM, and only 2 figures we are left with, that is 6 and 9. So manager has to be the one with 9 countries and AGM with the one with 6 countries. So this is how you can fill in all the data, and then we can solve easily if we have everything formed into the table. First question is, who visited 6 countries? So as you can see, AGM, whose name is Q. So option number C is the answer. Second question, who is above and below AGM respectively? So above AGM is DGM and the person named O, and below is M. O and M, or you can go with option number A because O is the one who visited 15 countries. So person who visited 15 countries and M. Option number A should be the answer. What is the sum of the countries visited by DGM and person S? DGM is 15 and person S is 5. So total is going to be 20. Option number E. Which of the following is the odd one out? N DGM manager R clerk. N DGM manager R clerk. So N DGM manager and clerk, they have visited odd number of countries, but the R has visited 2 countries, which is even number. So you can say R is the odd one. Which of the following is not right? CGM N11. It's correct. AGM Q5. No, that is not correct. AGM Q6 is the answer. Manager M9. Yes, that is correct. POR2 is correct. DGM O15 is also correct. So option number 2, AGM Q5 is wrong. Easy. Let's see one last set for the day. 7 cars, namely Hyundai, Kia, Maruti, Renault, Skoda, Tata, Volkswagen are partly linear row and are facing in the north direction, but not necessarily in the same order. Distance between two adjacent cars in the consecutive multiple of 7. So there are 7 cars. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So if there are 7 cars, the gaps between them has to be 6. So we have distance which are multiple of 7 and they are consecutive multiples. So consecutive multiples can be 7 into 1, 7 into 2, 7 into 3, or 7 into 2, 7 into 3, 7 into 4, or 7 into 3, 7 into 4. So any consecutive multiple. So they could be either 7, 14, 21, or 14, 21, 28, like this. But they are going to be consecutive multiples. And from left to right also it said. So obviously we are going to go first with the first 7 multiple of 7. That is this distance if 7, this distance will be 14, this distance will be 21, 28, 35, and 42. Now it says Renault is parked 126 meter to the left of Tata. 126 is 7 into 18. So we want 18 multiples. So this is 6 multiple, 5 multiple, 6 and 5 and 4. It is 15. 15 and 3, 18. So 18 sum can only be calculated like this. That means if this is Renault, this has to be Tata. Now Hyundai is parked 21 meter to the right of Maruti. Now 21 you can generate either this or 7 plus 14, 21. But in both of the cases, there is R already positioned. So you cannot write Hyundai and Maruti in these places. So that means the case that we took, first 7 multiple of 7, that is wrong. We have to go for now another 7 multiples. That means 7 into 2. We can start with 7 into 2. So the first distance could be 14, second could be 21, then 28, 35, then 42, and then 49. So we can pick these 7 consecutive multiples from left to right. Now again, we can go with the first information. It says Renault is 126 to the left of Tata. 126 we can generate here by, this is 7 into 7, 7 plus 6, 13, 13 plus 5, 18. So this is how you can accumulate the sum, 126. Renault is 126 to the left of Tata. So if this is Renault, this is Tata. 126 to the left of Tata. Hyundai is 21 to the right of Maruti. So now 21 is here. Hyundai is to the 21 right of Maruti. If Kia moves 5 meter north and then turns right and moves 91, it reaches to the north of Tata. North of Tata means here. So between Kia and Tata, there should be distance 91. 91 is these 49 plus 42. That means this has to be the Kia. Now it says if Volkswagen moves 5 to the south and turns left and move 35 to the right and moves 5 to the left. So naturally, if Volkswagen is going south and turning to the left, that means Volkswagen should be on this side of the row. So this has to be Volkswagen. And the remaining car, which is Skoda, that has to be this one. So this is how you can easily arrange these cars. And we can go with the questions. What is the minimum distance between any two cars? So as we have made sure that everything falls into the place, so you can just say our situation is right. Minimum distance between any two cars is going to be 40. Second question. How many cars are to the right of Skoda? There is only one car between right of Skoda. Option number B. What is the sum of distance between Hyundai and Kia? Hyundai is here, Kia is here. 28 plus 35, that is 63. Option number D has to be the answer. How many cars are there between Maruti and Tata? Between Maruti and Tata, there are 4 cars. Option number C. How many cars are to the left of Volkswagen and right of Renault? So left of Volkswagen, there is nothing. So 0. And right of Renault, there are 3. So 0, 3 has to be the answer. So this is again one of the very, very common sets in these days in RBI Grade B. As you can see, it is a last year set. So it is easy. It is easy kind of set. Even if you see the information given, it's very, very small. So if small information set is there, 90% chance it is going to be easy sets. So you should definitely pick those sets with a very few information. Okay. Okay. See you all in the next video with this previous year sets from RBI Grade B. Thank you for watching this video. Bye bye.